You are now tuned in to the 411 for your fantasy football with your host, Autumn Wind Williams.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Autumn Wind Williams, and this is the 411 for your fantasy football. It's been very crazy since the last time I spoke to you guys last week. Week two, it was a mess, hot mess. Lost a lot of money, and I'll just say I wouldn't be someone that you would want to talk to after the games. I lost a lot of money in tournaments and cash games, and I'm trying to win that back plus some in week three. The picks I gave you guys last week, I wouldn't be mad if you came back on my page and hit the dislike button. That's how bad it was. Well, the Colts defense, they did good. Bridgewater sucked. I picked Naeem Hines, and he didn't produce hardly anything because it was a Jonathan Taylor game. Who else did I have? I forgot who else, but I think one of them went off, the wide receiver or the tight end. I don't know. I don't remember. All I know is I'm frustrated from week two, and it was like one of my worst weeks in DFS since I began. Like, what, 6 years ago I think I started playing, and I think week two 2020 was so upsetting. We're already in a weird year, so everything that I expect is not going to happen all the time, because this is just a crazy year. It's unpredictable. We never know what's going to happen. But anyway, all we can do is try to do the best that we can, and hopefully some luck come our way. So I'm going to provide you a quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, and defense. Hopefully we can win big. You guys build around those players if you want. But these are the guys that I'm setting in my main lineup. I got the majority of my lineup set. What I'm doing after the video is try to pay attention to games that people aren't really looking at that much, and try to go contrarian right there, and then build around certain positions that I feel is, not necessarily chalk, but not really highly in people lineups. That's going to help me take down some tournaments. So let me just check right now on the Sleeper app to see if there's any other surprising injuries before I give you guys the players that I got, because I don't want to give you players and then next thing you know they're sitting. And, that would be very disappointing. I will be upset with myself for giving you somebody like that. Alright, let's see. Watkins practices in full. Questionable for Monday night. Panthers Christian McCaffrey on injury reserve. We already know that. The team promoted practice squad running back Reggie Bonifant. Okay. Sammy Watkins concussion. Cam Akers out for week 3 for the Rams. Michael Thomas for the Saints is out. Christian Kirk is out. Broncos rookie Jerry Jeudy, ribs still questionable for Sunday. Panthers released former cornerback Tremaine Johnson. Okay. Titans have ruled out A.J. Brown with a knee. Steelers, Juju Smith-Schuster practiced in full. That was yesterday. Okay, so no new news yet. Hopefully nothing shattering after I provide you guys the folks that I have in the lineup. Man, it was just crazy last week. Christian McCaffrey's injured. Saquon Barkley, I have him in my sleeper fantasy league. that just messed me up. But luckily, during our dynasty draft, I got my very last pick, James Robinson. And if you follow me on Twitter at the 411 DFS, I've been talking up James Robinson a whole lot. And this past Thursday for Jacksonville, he put up 27.90 fantasy points, 30 on DraftKings, I believe. Dude, he's just awesome. They had every reason to let go of Fournette after they got him, because he's a new face. He's the new face of this team, and he's a dominant running back, undrafted rookie free agent too at that. Just check out his highlights from when he was in college. He's just remarkable. I think he's going to go a long way. He's not the speediest type of guy. He didn't do that great in the combine, but he's producing. This is 3 weeks in a row. He's been productive. Week after week is just more and more usage and more production that he's showing on his end. But yeah, like I said though, let's get on with the lineup at quarterback. Going against the Las Vegas Traders, I got Cam Newton of the New England Patriots. Now, this is crazy. I always hated the Patriots ever since the snow game against the Raiders because I used to be a diehard Black Hole season ticket member, dressed up, took pictures with the kids, tailgated, did all that stuff. And now, since they're in Las Vegas, I feel some type of way. They're my most hated team now, Las Vegas Traders. So I'm definitely going to pick Cam Newton against the against the Las Vegas Traders this week. You know, Cam, he did pretty good last week against Seattle. He got 2 rushing touchdowns. He wasn't able to put in number 3 for a game winner. That was a little bit upsetting because it was on prime time, and you know, was it prime time? I think it was prime time. All I know is it was the game of the week to me. The way that it looked, you know, as far as with Seattle, Russell Wilson is Mr. Unlimited, and Cam Newton, he was just fighting back, man. He put the team on his back. But like I said, I'm picking Cam. He got 2 touchdowns rushing, threw for 1 to Jacob Johnson. Uh, 30 for 44 passing attempts, 397 yards. I think he can go out there and do it again because Las Vegas Traders, they got a lot of key injuries going on, and that's going to affect the defense performance when their team is going to be on the field a lot against Cam Newton. And the entire defense against an unpredictable Bill Belichick playbook, along with a mobile quarterback like Cam Newton, is destined to fail. So it's a no-brainer to pick Cam Newton against the Las Vegas Traders. Moving on at running back, we was just talking about this guy, Leonard Fournette. He's now with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and last week he was looking excellent. It looks like Fournette's going to take over the running back role in Tampa after seeing Ronald Jones get faded out in week 2. It was just a matter of time while he learned the playbook. I just feel like Ronald Jones was a temporary starter no matter how much his coach speak that was going around socials about him being the number 1 running back. Leonard Fournette, he rushed for 12 times, got 103 yards, and got 2 touchdowns. He got 4 out of his 5 targets, only for 13 yards, but the point is there's going to be a lot of usage for Leonard Fournette more than anybody that they have at running back position on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Plus, going against the Broncos, even in Mile High with high altitude, I'm not afraid when there's no Von Miller. And this is another team that has a lot of injuries on the offensive side and defense, and that's going to cause them to be on the field a lot more, causing them to get tired. And as you see for now with these 2 picks, I want to go against teams that's going to be having their defense on the field that's just going to get tired because their offense is not going to be producing. So that's why I'm picking Leonard Fournette. Moving on to wide receiver, I'm going to stack Cam Newton with Julian Edelman. The reason why is, you know, I don't care how many times Patriots put up Q tags week after week by their players' names when we go to FanDuel or DraftKings. They always did that. They always did that till close to game lock or the day before or sometime, the last 90 minutes before the game. And, you know, right now it's showing Edelman is questionable with the knee and been limited in practice. You know, that's a sign he's been limited in practice. He's a veteran. They probably just don't want to put him out there for the entire week practicing when the dude already know the playbook. Like I said, he's a vet. He's been on the team. He know what he need to do. Him and Cam was already working together all during training camp, so they connect already. So I feel comfortable putting Julian Edelman with Cam Newton. Last week he caught 8 of his 11 targets and got a career high of 179 yards. And I'm expecting Cam and Edelman to destroy the Las Vegas Traders tomorrow because their secondary is not that great. All right, moving on to tight end. I have Jordan Reed from the San Francisco 49ers. You know, the 49ers is banged up. Everybody's banged up from week 2, man. It was that week was it was horrible. It kind of reminded me of that week last year when I took down a GPP. I was on a lucky end to be number one in the GPP on Yahoo, and a lot of other people they were just ranting all over Twitter and YouTube. It was just like an outlier week, and they just couldn't get the picks right. And out of 150 lineups, well, 149 lineups, I couldn't get anything right with them. So I was ranting too until I saw I had one lineup at the very top of the leaderboard. I was shocked. I was really shocked too. But week 2, it was like that too. It was some people that was lucky that didn't play the Saquon and McCaffreys, but a lot of us, man, we took our ball and went home because it wasn't fun no more. But anyway, like I was saying, I just can't stop talking about week 2. I'm just hoping this changes. Week 3, ah man, like I said though, tight end Jordan Reed, San Francisco 49ers, they're banged up at tight end, running back, wide receiver, defense, quarterback. They were dropping like flies, man. I was like, damn, this dude injured, that dude injured. And, I was on the outside, and I was like, 49ers are smart. They got Kittle, and they got Jordan Reed to back up. They know Kittle can possibly get injured. And what happened? He get injured. They got Jordan Reed coming out there last week. Got 2 touchdowns. And, I'm going to go ahead and play him because he's going to be highly targeted. He's the main reliable guy, and when they're that thin on offense, he's going to get a lot of targets. He got 8 targets, completed 7 catches for 50 yards. Like I said, 2 touchdowns. It's nobody else to really pick on their team as far as pass catchers. I mean, yeah, you can go with their high chalked running backs. I'm not going to play Mullen. I don't know if I'm going to play their defense. I'm thinking of playing the Giants defense against them on some lineups too. But I feel like Jordan Reed is going to be a benefactor for this game, whether they're ahead or not. I believe they're going to get ahead first and by a Jordan Reed touchdown. I say first, second quarter. Maybe a second touchdown, the second half. If they're behind, they're going to use him to catch up. They're going to throw short passes. When you have a quarterback like Mullins, that he's not a deep passer. He's going to go for little short passes to the tight end, and Jordan Reed is good in the red zone too. So I feel like that's a safe play for me right there. It's scary though because we know how in Washington Jordan Reed he always end up with concussions and get injured in some kind of way. And when the way 49ers is playing too, ain't no telling. They're already nervous about playing in that stadium because when they played the Jets last week, it was in that same stadium, and look what happened. But look at Santa Clara Stadium, Levi Stadium. Everybody gets injured all the time. My cousin, she's a diehard 49er fan. She won tickets to get on the field, and her and some other fans, they were racing to the end zone from the 20-yard line. And I kid you not, she fell right at the goal line, like Steve Young back in the day. And they had it on video when she got up. Her arm was just like, like if somebody have a stroke, how their arm is limp. That's how her arm was. It was broken from Levi Stadium field. Because looking at the video, she didn't really fall that hard, but it's the way she fell. and the impact that ground gave her arm, it's just like noodle arm, So to me, 49ers should not be complaining about the Giants and the Jets field when they got the same issue at Levi Stadium. But I'm still going to go ahead and pick Jordan Reed. All these guys are actually injury prone. That's one thing that gets me when you tell somebody that who you're going to play, or say a player get drafted or traded to a team. Fans complain that they're injury prone, but they're all injury prone. You don't know if you're going to go out there and get injured every single time you practice or play a game. So everybody's injury prone, even the referee. We've seen some get knocked out, right? But anyway, that's who I got at tight end. Moving on to defense, I have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This is a no-brainer right here. Versus the Denver Broncos, I'm stacking with Leonard Fournette. Drew Lock is out. Cortland Sutton's on IR. Philip Lindsay is out. Jerry Jeudy is questionable. Jerry Jeudy is questionable. Driscoll is a starter. And to make matters worse, the Broncos signed Blake Bortles as his backup. So the Broncos are going to be forced to rely on the running game and use Melvin Gordon, and the Bucks most certainly gonna be the defense that I pick, knowing that they can stop the run very well. So that's a no-brainer right there. Some week 2 shit can happen to my lineup, but I just feel like these are some plays that make sense. We got Cam Newton at quarterback versus Las Vegas Raiders. Leonard Fournette, Tampa Bay Bucks versus the Denver Broncos. Julian Edelman stacked with Cam Newton versus Las Vegas Raiders. Jordan Reed versus the New York Giants. And defense stacked with Leonard Fournette, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. These are plays that really make sense to put in your lineup. It might work in cash if you can get guys in there that make sense to build around these guys. But this one's definitely going in my GPP. I got a little bit of contrarian stuff I'm going to throw in there. Well, I feel that's contrarian at least. And see what happens when I hit that like button. But anyway, y'all, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share. And thanks to the guys that just gave me a shout out last week, in the comments. I appreciate it. One recommended Jordan Reed too. So, that guy was on point. Utilize the chat too. Tell me if it's somebody that you think that's better than my picks that you're putting in your lineups. It's always good to get feedback, no matter if it's negative or positive. That's the only way we grow, right? But yeah, like, subscribe, comment below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, even though I haven't been on there in a while. I've been on Twitter mainly, but at the 411DFS. Until then, you guys stay safe, stay blessed, and hope you win a lot of money. Peace. I'm out.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the 411 Podcast. Now get ready to make that money. And don't forget to follow us on Twitter at the 411 DFS.